Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as of last Tuesday, this brand new volume of the Bloodborne comic books was released. It's called The Veil Torn Asunder. As with the previous volumes, this one is also released by Titan Comics, written by Alice Cott with artwork by Piotr Kowalski and colors by Brad Simpson. So this volume really is something. It starts out on a promising note with our unnamed protagonist in a library contemplating whether or not there really are multiple universes. He's a veteran who comes to Yharnam after seeing too much of war, and he becomes an alcoholic. So we start with him after the library. He is drinking at an inn. And before I go on even further, I think that this particular volume is pretty impossible to explain without spoiling about 75% of the narrative. I'm going to leave the end of the book unknown for you guys, but I wanted to give you that slight spoiler warning just in case you wanted to read it completely fresh. After the nameless main character travels to Yharnam, he starts getting flashbacks of seeing an eldritch creature while on an ocean dive that continually haunts him. It's unclear as to when this exactly happens, but he starts to question his own reality, as if he lives in two universes at once. The story then starts to veer from the real world. He starts out in that tavern talking about being a traveler and drinking himself into a stupor, and then he finds this couple that he ends up bedding and then subsequently slaying. As this is happening, we're getting flashes from the real world of Yharnam to Yharnam on the night of the hunt, so you don't exactly know what's reality. He doesn't even know how or when he murdered this couple. From there, it ends with a twist. The story at least tries to be Lovecraftian in the imagery and the way that his sanity constantly wavers, but that's really where it starts and ends. It tries, but it's told in this very bizarre stream of consciousness format that I really had a hard time getting into. It's difficult to read not only just because of the weird stream of consciousness style, but because punctuation is completely non-existent in parts. I wonder if it's a way for them to metaphorically talk about the waning of his sanity, but really what it looks like is just an editing oversight. It looks like no one really looked this over before it went to print. So in terms of the story, there really isn't much there, unfortunately. These are comics where I completely support Titan and I support what they're trying to accomplish with this. I would really love to see them do better. But as of right now, they're 1 for 4 in terms of telling a good story, which I really think is unfortunate. I think that they have to drastically change the direction of each narrative in order for them to start getting good again. However, what the comics really do well and excel at is the art. I have to say that every time I really love looking at the imagery and revisiting the areas of the game. I think the highlight to this volume in particular is that it flashes back to previous scenes and previous characters that we've seen in other volumes. The visual, as always, are just stunning and organized with care to reflect the gorgeous scenery of the game. So to rate this volume overall, I think it's an interesting story once you piece it together, but it really does try too hard, and in the end, it really doesn't have a plot to speak of. What could have been really intriguing storytelling is muddied by erratic writing. And in the end, what makes any of these volumes really worth picking up is the art. If you would like a piece in your collection that helps you appreciate the beautiful art in this game and the achievements of all of the artists and guest artists involved, these are excellent to have in your collection in general. But for reading purposes, they're really something else. I try very hard to enjoy these, and I try to think, is there a metaphor or something that I'm missing? And then the more I think about it, the more I realize that there's not. In the end, I applaud Titan for doing this. I applaud the great artists involved, but I really think that they have quite a ways to go in terms of perfecting their storytelling techniques. So have you guys read the comics yet? I welcome your opinion of them, whether or not you agree with me. If you disagree and think that these are the most outstanding stories, that's completely fine. I think we all have different tastes, and Bloodborne to me is something that's really close to my heart, so I really would like content that does it justice. So if you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content. I try to go ahead and review these volumes every time that they come out. I also occasionally review the Dark Souls comics as well. And in addition to that, if you'd like to support my channel, you can also head over to my Patreon page. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great night or day. Bye! Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as of last Tuesday, this brand new Bloodborne comic book was This is volume 4, and it's written by Alice Cott with Do they really have to be hammering right now? He starts out in a Yharnam tavern, drinking himself into a stupor and then bedding a couple. Way to go, dude. Can you see?